So in this video, we're going to build a simple budgeting app. We're going to integrate Firebase backend, so it would have the authentication and the database with Firestore. But the most important part is we are going to submit the app to the App Store. So if you're seeing this video, means that we built this app, integrated the backend, submitted it to the App Store, and it's on the App Store because the link will be in the description. But I don't think anyone has done this yet, not that I've seen. I'm literally gonna build the project, deploy it, and put the link of the project in the description. It's gonna be one take, so I can't make any mistakes, so it has to be perfect. But let's get right into it. I ended up building a GPT for you guys because a lot of people have been asking me about how I do the planning, how I do the prompting, and I had to start writing logs for you guys. So I actually created a PDF file, provided it to the GPT, and it should be able to literally walk you guys step by step through all that process, and you will not have to depend on a blog or me or anything. Like, you should be able to use this to build your own app, and it does all those processes for you. I haven't tested it yet, if I'm being honest with you guys, so I'm about to test it right now. And so let's get right into it. Okay, so we're going to build a budgeting app. So I say I want to build a, so you can add as much information as you want here. But for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna try to just keep it simple, just to show you guys how it works. I want to build a simple budgeting app. So it's going to give you a bunch of features and functionality that the app can have, and you can select what works for you. You don't have to go with everything. So I'm gonna review this, and then once I'm done, I'm gonna paste it in here, and then we're gonna go to the next step. I have literally copied and pasted what I want and what I don't want. So for example, here, let's say for example here, the first one, it said, do you want the users to manually do it, or do you want them to connect their bank account automatically? Obviously, we're not doing that because you need approval from banks and so on, so we're not doing all that. But yeah, that's literally what I did. Went through everything, picked what I want because it gives you the options. And then now I'm going to submit that. Now it's gonna help us, we're gonna set up the Firebase project. Okay, that's the first thing it wants us to do, and we're going to set it up to email and password only for storing transaction income and goals. Okay, all right, so let's do it. So it says create a Firebase. So go to Firebase, click add project, the name, so we're going to copy that because that's what we want to call it, and click continue, disable this, and then click create project. Perfect. So let's go to Firebase, create project, the name, continue, create project. So now we've created the Firebase project. So set up Firebase in Expo. So I'll show you guys. So now the project is done. So this is what it's telling us to do. So it's telling us to take this route and to build it for iOS, whatever, but we're going to go the web route because this is a lot easier to integrate. Okay. So I am going to create for web, and we are going to call it the same name, register app. And we're going to need this for later, so I'm just gonna copy that. Actually, I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna leave this open because we're gonna need this for later in the app. Okay, we'll handle it later. Skip the SDK, continue console, enable. Oh, so now we need to enable authenticate. Okay, so we'll just go through the whole thing, enable authentication, and then enable email password sign in. Okay, so we'll just go through it. So first thing is saying this authentication, so we're going to enable that. Get started. That's what the option we want, right? Enable, save. So that's done. We're gonna go back, and what did it say next we do? Firebase, create database, start in test mode, enable. Okay, so we'll go there. It's telling us exactly what to do. Create database, and we'll go in test mode, create. We could have downloaded the iOS file, but I know some of you are gonna probably want to do it in Android. That's why I'm doing it in web, because it's easier to integrate for Android and iOS through the web. It's just I specified in here to it that this app is only for iOS. That's why I did that. So the next step, so we're done Firebase setup and everything. The next is now to actually set up the project. So we need to create the project first. So it would be npx create project latest. That's the name of the project. So we're gonna go to Cursor right here. We're gonna go to right here, terminal, and I'm gonna navigate to my YouTube folder, and then I'm gonna paste that command. It's going to be building the project for us. I'll be back while it's doing this. It's gonna take some time. So the project is ready, and we're going to go back to the GPT. So this is just to open the project. Expo router comes in the dependencies down here, and right there to reset the project. So we're going to open up the project. So go to open project, go to YouTube. There it is, right? That's the app. We're gonna open it. And what the reset the project is doing is, as you can see here, there is templates that Expo already gives and kind of provides to you and everything, but we want to start from scratch. So because we want to start from scratch, I'm going to actually reset the whole project so that we are able to start from zero. So I'm gonna paste that command, and this is going to reset the project, and you're going to see it's gonna make this an example that we can delete now. And right there, so now this is just a raw simple template, and this is the one that Expo created for us. So we can actually delete the one that Expo created for us and go back to GPT, and we need to install the libraries. So these are all the libraries that we're going to need for this project. And the cool thing is it tells you why you need these dependencies. So it tells you exactly what they are and why we need them. I added this in the GPT for this reason, because I know a lot of you would probably have this question, and this is just to help you understand what you're doing. Obviously, this is going to be a work in progress as you're using it. Let me know if there's anything I should add or remove. The goal is to make this as helpful and educative as possible. As you can see these 2 slashes. It will mess up in the terminal if you use it with those 2 slashes. So just make sure you remove them before you paste it. So we'll copy this, and we'll go back and we'll paste that. It's gonna take some time to install the libraries. Once this is done, I'll be back and we'll continue. It has finished installing all the libraries that we need. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to, let's see on the list, npx start. So this is going to be to start the project. Before we do that, I just want to show you guys this part, because I know a lot of you had questions on this, how I did this and everything. Well, it comes with it now. So it will create the folder structure for you, and as you can see, it's detailed with everything. Obviously in the next step it will go in more details. We'll go incrementally, right? So we'll go back here and we will run npx expo start. So what this is going to do is it's going to bundle up the project and create a barcode for us. You know the drill. You're going to take your phone and scan that, and I'm going to get all set up. So you're going to see my device here and everything. That way we can start the project. Project is ready and it's on my device now. We will start. I just opened up the chat option there. So as you can see, we have the entry point right here. So we will change this just so you can see that it makes changes in real time. I'll say hello, whatever. But this should change in real time. I'm just gonna have to reload the app. As you can see, it's changing in real time. So I'll just say hello world there, right there. So that's the entry point. That's the first location that the app goes to. That when the app is bundled and ran, that's the first thing the users see. So now let's go back to GPT. So it has the folder structure. The next thing that we're going to do now is we're going to tell it to create the markdown file, because that's the next thing we need to do to start this process. And we'll tell it to include the folder structure in there and obviously a detail of the project. I do need to create a home screen because I did notice that it's missing that. So it needs to create a home screen here, because what it's saying is it's that entry point that we were supposed to have, it's making that the home screen, and that's not what we want, because we still need it to be able to go through I mean, we can play it out and see how it works out. I don't know if it would work, but we can try it out and see what the logic is gonna look like. But yeah, so let's get right into it. Please create a detailed markdown file that I can copy into the project. Note that the tabs are home, transactions and settings, and the index in the root is the entry point. So now it's going to create our markdown file for us and clean this up for us, because we want this to be the entry point and we want there to be an extra home screen here, because that's where the tab, like that's going to be part of the tabs. As you guys can see, it's saying go to the project, the root of the project, create this. We're going to do exactly what it's saying. So I'm going to copy exactly what it's telling us to do. And we will go in here and we will go to the root, like it said. Like, you guys better leave like some like, or I don't know if you can like a GPT, but this should help you guys so much, man. It should help you guys. So it's a copy the context below. It creates it for us. That's not enough. Oh, okay. So it creates it for us. This is the folder structure. It's outside. We'll copy this as well. So we just need to, once it's done, I'll just literally copy everything that is gonna spit out in here. And it's creating the user flow. It's creating literally each screen and how they work. And it's creating the data schema. Oh my days. Yeah, so we're going to literally copy, once it's done, copy all that and put it into this document. I have finished creating the context markdown file, have all the information we need, and we are going to start building. Before we do that, I will provide the app with Firebase SDK, project SDK, because this is what it's going to use as well to make sure that authentication works. So I'll go back to the project. I'll say, please help me start building this project incrementally, starting with the authentication to make sure that Firebase works. So I pasted the Firebase SDK in there and I said, and note that there are 3 tabs: home, transaction, and settings. Please use this document, context document. I'm going to tag that as inspiration for this app, and I will tell you when to continue to the next. Make sure to only use the available libraries. Okay, that should be good. And what that's going to do is it's going to start building the project for us. There you go. So it's creating the services first, right there, and it's integrating it there. The Firebase SDK is integrating it in there. Next, it's creating the auth context. So if we go to the context right here, it's integrating it there. Next is it's creating a login screen. So right now it's making sure that the authentication, the Firebase integration works. That's what it's trying to do right now. So what's the error we're getting here? Let's see. Those, which we can fix. So it's created the live login screen, it's creating the sign up screen, and it's now creating the layout, which I believe it's the root layout that is creating this one right here. Yeah, the root layout. And we have all the libraries we need, everything. I think we are Gucci, so I will accept all of them, and we can kind of incrementally start trying to fix wherever there are errors. Okay, so first things first, I'll say, and that's why we're getting the error. I think it's because we don't have the tabs there yet. So now I will say continue, please. So now that it's going to continue, it's going to now set up. So next thing now is it's going to create the tabs for us, the main screens, which should be under tabs. So it's fixed that, and so the tabs right there, it's creating that. And under there, we're gonna have 3 screens. So the home tab, the setting tab, and the transactions tab. So this is the home tab, the index one, and now it's creating the transaction tab, and then next it's going to create the settings tab. There we go. It's coming along, perfect. So we accept all. Oops, this we need to add. We need to apply this. Make sure this is applied. Okay, perfect. Now the next thing is we have an error here that we need to fix. So we can't find the tabs. So we will fix this in a different chat, just to, so we should fix that error for us. Perfect. is it empty? It should be tabs. Okay, that's why. So the root will automatically this right here. I'll say modify. Actually, I'll just say reload the app just to see if that fixes that. Because sometimes. Yo, guys, this is looking clean now. Looking clean. It's looking pretty freaking good. I can't lie. Let's see. Sign up. Oh my god, guys! If this works as usual, I will. You know the drill. Tests@tests.com. Password, we'll choose hours. We'll make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sign up. No freaking way, guys. No freaking way. That looks pretty good. Obviously, there's UI things we need to clean up, but that's coming along, guys. The theme is not working, but that's fine. We can fix all those things. Those are all things we can fix. So just to verify that it actually did work and it's not just telling us it worked, the account is there. So Firebase integration works. That's good. The settings screen looks decent. Okay, that's good. Now we will just go to the next step. So now I will say, now I need you to make sure that the theme works across app from the settings screen. So this is gonna fix the context. So right now when we click this theme, it's not working. That's the first thing I noticed. Obviously we're going to play around with the UI and so on. I will let you guys know once we're done cleaning up the theme. So I have made the theme. It should work now. So funny enough, we can actually test the sign in now. We tested the sign up, it works. So test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sign in. That worked. That looks pretty good. Transactions, the theme, perfect. That actually looks pretty good. We just have to clean things up. So I will just clean everything up. So I would just say, please remove the header from the tabs and please make sure that the tab background fits the theme, like the screen. So if we go, and I'll show you guys why we have that header and how you can change that if you wanted to. So right here under options, you can actually, if I change this index right now, if I change this to, I believe it's header, show header or something like that, it should be false, and that's what's going to remove it, but we'll get the AI to do it. So I will actually provide it with that because this is where those changes need to be made. And then now it's going to remove, because you see how it has this set in here, we don't like that, and we want this to obviously fit the same theme. So now you see it made that change there, and whew, my god, guys, this is coming along. This is coming along. It's looking clean. Okay, so we will accept that. So now that works. That's good. Obviously, there's a lot of work we still need to do. We need to add the setting buttons to the screen. So we'll just say, please, sorry, delete button. Please add the delete account button to the bottom of the settings screen, and please make sure that the email in the settings screen actually shows the user's email. Or we can even delete that, to be honest. We don't really need that, do we? So if I go to the settings screen, I don't think we really need this right here. This line right here, where is it? Right here. I don't think we need this, do we? Okay. Or just remove the email / account option. So it's gonna clean this up for us. It's gonna update the settings screen. It's gonna add the delete button under. We need to test and see if the sign out even works. It added the delete button. There we go. You guys can see that, and it has not removed the account. We can just do it honestly manually. That's fine. Like, we don't need this. You can add that if you want. We don't need that to deploy the app. So I'm just gonna remove that, to be honest. There we go. So now we just have a simple, the theme across the app. Okay, everything works. We'll try to log out. That worked, and then we'll try to delete it as well. So we're going to try to delete an account to make sure that it works, and we also need to add an alert for logging out and deleting an account. But let's see here. It worked. Okay, so the settings screen is done. So we just have to add an alert, and we should go from there. I have added the alert to the settings screen. So if we go to the excuse me, to the settings screen. We have the, when it handle logout, it's going to add an on press, there should be an alerts. Yeah, so this alert is gonna come up. So if I click sign out, that's the alert. If I click delete account, that's the alert. So now the next thing we need to add is the privacy policies, because you need that to be able to submit your app to the App Store. So to do this, first off, you can use the Apple's terms and condition. So I'm just gonna paste that in here. So I'll say, now please add the policies to the settings screen. Control this, and next one is, so for your privacy policy, you need to have a website or figure out a way where you need to create one and just kind of like explain everything. So I'm just gonna use one that I already have existed, and this, and I'll say please use link for them in the settings screen. So this is to make sure that it meets Apple's requirements for submission, right? So it's gonna add those, like probably 2 buttons or 3. I think it's 3 because no, it's 2. It's 2. Yeah, it's 2 buttons. So it add the 2 buttons there, and it would add policies, I would assume, but it should look clean. There we go. That's looking good. So I'll accept that, and if I click the terms of use, okay, that worked. And then if I click the privacy policy, that works. Perfect. We're in business. So we've actually finished the settings screen. Next, now we're going to go, so I'll say perfect. Now, please, let's start working on the transactions screen to make sure everything works exactly as intended. So now, we are going to come here, because this is not working. When I click that the button right there, it's not working. But right now it's going to start helping us set up the transaction screen. And it says now create a Firestore service for transactions. So it's going to create a service here. Remember, in the data that we had from the context, it had like a service for storing the data and so on. So it's creating that, and it says create a transaction component to display individual transactions. Right there. Okay, then yeah, so we're going to start working on the transaction to get that all set up. Now we're going to get it to create the work on the transactions screen as well. So we're just gonna say perfect. Now please, let's start working on the transaction screen, make sure it works exactly as intended, and then I tell it to follow the documentation that we have in the context and the markdown file. So we're getting an error here which we can fix. I moved myself because I remember a lot of you talked about you're not able to be to see this, so I just fixed that. But yeah, so as you can see here, it has created the transaction data structure for us. So that's for the categories and all those things, and then it has the Firestore, being able to add data, update data, delete data, as well as get transactions. So all this is in the markdown file, right? And then it's created the transaction item components and all that, right? We're getting an error here. I think it's because it's trying to load data from Firebase right now, but there's no data. So I'll just say, please, and you account for this error, as right now there is no data to be fetched. Is that why we are getting this error? Question mark. And I will target that error to chat. And what is it default to? I don't even know. It should be this, but I don't know. Okay, let's see what it's going to do. And then if I start error related to indexes, here is because you're trying to query transactions in multiple condition filtering, which requires a complete. Okay, so now it looks like it's fixing that issue, because the issue is in the way that the data is actually being queried. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so, and the cool thing for you guys is you guys make sure you're reading what the AI is replying, because that's how you learn. That's the only way you can learn. Like at the end of the day, you're reading, you're learning, you're just getting better, right? I'm gonna move myself. There you go, that's better. So I will be back once it's done doing all that. So it is done. And as you can see now, when there is no transaction, it tells us to create or add a transaction. So we're gonna test it out, see if it works. Okay, expense or income. Expense, let's just say $200, and expense $200 category. Wow, that looks really clean. You say food, and then dates. That's good. What's next there? Optional, tests. So one thing that I do notice right now is, as you can see, if I click outside of the keyboard, it's not closing the keyboard, as well as when I'm typing in a field, it should avoid the keyboard, because right now the keyboard is overriding the field, so you can't really see what you're typing, right? So I'll just say add. Said please fill in all field. What required field? What's a required field? I think, oh, this, I didn't fill this up. Food. And then I will see, and then add. So I think it added it. It's not showing right now because it's probably not loading, but let's check. We'll go to Firebase, and I think it did add it. Yep, that's what I thought. It's just not being displayed, and I feel like if we reload the app right now, it will display. So I will reload the app and see if it actually shows that data. So the issue has been fixed. Let's add income. So say $300, I'll say, and transaction, I'll say gift, and then I'll say same date, and I'll say testing, add. Nice. That's looking clean. That's looking really good. Okay. And then if I go to here, just to make sure it shows, it's right there. So all the transactions are showing up, and then the user ID is added, and that's the UID that is here, and that's what it's going to use to query the user's data based on the user ID. Okay, perfect. So now the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to just do some cleanup. So if I tap that, it's showing delete. Let's see if that works first of all. So if I delete, let's say I delete food. Let's say I delete food. Okay, so that's deleted. Let's go to Firebase and see. Yep, it's deleted. So that works. Okay, so the delete works. Now, a few things we need to do. We need to make sure that when you tap it, it's not delete that comes up, that when you tap it, it's actually edit. And then second thing is we need to add a total transactions at the top right there, right here. So I'm going to do all that, and then I will be back. So I have added everything that we wanted. So the users will be able to click the transaction to change things. And I'll also say, please add the total transaction to the screen. So total expense. Okay, so it should do a lot of cleanup for us. Once that is done, your boy will be back. This is what it looks like updated, as you can see. So if I click here and I click expense and I say, I don't know, $100, and it is for bills, and we have the same date, description, test, and I say add. That's nice. Okay. So the transaction screen looks like it's good. Again, it's a basic app. Next thing we need to do is now add a monthly overview and a recent transaction to the home dashboard, and a total at the very top, and that should be good. That should be good. So that's the next thing we need to do, is do that. And the recent transaction will show the top 5. So we'll show the top 5 recent transaction. The monthly overview will show your monthly overview. And then at the very top, we'll have the total transactions. Or I guess we just leave it how it is. So yeah, let's get on that. So we'll go to the home screen. So it's be the index. So say perfect. Now please, let's start working on the index in bracket home screen. Please start integrating the requirements based on app context. MD, keep it simple and slick. Okay, I will be back once it's done its thing, and we can go from there. Oh my god, guys, look at this. So it's added actually this month, and then it has the income, it has the expense. You can see how much income we've had, and then you can compare it, which we can clean that up. And then it has the recent transactions as we expected. And then if we view all, it takes us to the transaction screen, guys. Okay, that looks clean. That looks good. So now what we need to do is just obviously clean up the UI, clean up the UX, just make sure everything is good, test it out. Obviously, I'm not gonna just do that here while you're here because it's just wasted everyone's time. But if we click there, okay, and we click it, we can edit it. Okay, perfect. That's what we wanted. And it shows update as well. So let's say I updated this to $200. Let's see if it updates it across the app. Update. Okay, it did, and it did not add. I think it just needs to load here. So if we reload the app, I think it just needs to reload here. So we just need to make it live, but I will be back. Yeah, so as I expected, it does show. It's just it needs to be dynamic where it reloads right away. So actually, I will tell the AI. So I say, please make sure that when data is updated, comma, saved or deleted in the transaction screen, it should be dynamic and reflect in the home screen. As right now, the user will have to reload the entire app for it to be reflected. So that should fix that issue for us. But guys, this is coming along. Like, it has recent transaction. We can see all by going to that screen, which is okay. We can delete transaction. We can, the overview here, we can probably use better financial overview because I feel like this is just, because then expense is just gonna be that. So if anything, it should actually compare expense and income. So you should have like how many expense, how many income in like in a pie chart, and then the compare can be what it is right now. Because right now it's only showing income. It should also show expense and compare, kind of like just showing a bar chart of what it looks like, and then we'll have a pie chart that compares them as well. So that's what we need to do. So pretty much what it's doing right now, it's creating a transaction context where it's going to store the data. So whenever the transaction context is changed, it would actually be reflected across the app because it's going to, you see right, the transaction provider is going to wrap the entire app with that. So the entire app is going to have that transaction being able to be passed at any screen, because this root layout right there is the entire, like every screen is in there. And then the transaction, once that's changed, you can put it at any screen you want and it will just be so dynamic and smooth. So that's what it's doing right here. And so right now, if I go to transactions and I change gifts to 400, sorry, and I update that. So it changed to 200 there, right? And home, it changed as well. Look at that, guys. So that's looking clean. So now we're going to clean up the financial overview. That's the only thing remaining now in the home screen. And we should be good to go. There's just a few things else we'll clean, but I'll clean that up and I'll be back in a few seconds. So this is what it looks like now. This is actually better. So it actually breaks down the expense by category. It breaks down the income by sources, and then it compares both and give you like a versus overview. So I actually prefer this than what we had before. We're going to remove this monthly comparison here because we don't need that. So I'm actually going to accept the change, and if we go to charts, which is what it created, we can remove, there's an error. No, there isn't. There is, but I don't know. There isn't. It's just bugging out. Okay, we need to find a monthly comparison. So we'll just say, we'll tell it to remove this monthly comparison part because we don't need that anymore. And then we'll tell it to put the compare at the start. I just think it looks cooler when it shows the compare, and then people can go and break it down. So that's what we're going to do to make it look cleaner. So as you can see, it has done that for us. So it's removed the comparison thing at the bottom. We don't need that, but this looks way cleaner. So it has the monthly, it has the income, it has the expenses, it has the balance, right? And then it has the comparison here where it's comparing the expense and the income. We can go to break down the income and break down the expenses. And then we have the recent transaction at the bottom. So the transaction works as we intend, so that's good. The settings screen works, the theme works as well. Okay, that's perfect. That's great. This is looking clean. This is looking really nice. One thing that is remaining, we're actually gonna start looking into submitting this, but the one thing that is remaining that I think we need to do is, you'll notice when we reload the app, it logs the user out. It doesn't automatically log them in, and we don't want that. Yeah, so we don't want that. We don't want every time the user logs in or logs out, they get, every time the user reloads the app, they have to relog in and so on. So we have to fix that. We have to make it so that at the entry point, it always decides if the user is already logged in or not, and then sends them either, if the user is net new and or they're not logged in, they'll go to the welcome screen. If they're logged in or whatever, they'll go to the tabs. So I have prompted it literally everything we want so that when the user reloads the app, they are automatically logged in. If they're not, like if they don't have an account, they'll obviously go to the home screen. After this is done, we need to create a splash screen to make sure that we have a nice looking splash screen. And then some other things is that I added was the keyboard. So right now, you see how it's not avoiding the keyboard. And then as well, if I click outside, it's not. So I'm clicking outside right now and it's not closing the keyboard. So I added that in the chat so that it fixes those for us. So it should, in theory, fix all those things and we should be able to go from there. So this is what it looks like now. As you can see, the theme works. It avoids keyboard, which works. That's good. When we tap out, it closes. That's really good. We go in here, same for create. That's actually really good. So we're good in that sense. I will try to log in. So it'll be test@tests.com and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll log in and it's going dark. I don't know why it's doing that. So I'll try again. I have an account on this. It's just easier. Okay, so this is, I get why it's doing that. So if we come here, this is the entry point of the app. And that's why it's now, if we wanted to automatically log in and so on, we need a logic that's going to help make that decision. When the app is started, this is the entry point. It's the first thing it sees. So what we need to do is say, okay, please note that the root index, which is the entry point, is not set up properly to help handle or direct the user to the correct screen based on their auth status. Please fix that. And please create because we don't have a splash screen. So it says, please create a simple, clean looking custom splash screen with a progress bar for the app. Have it at the root of the app, and please use the context, because we don't want it to go out of context, use this for reference, because we don't want it to go out of context, right? So what that's going to do is it should fix now the entry point so that it directs us to the correct location. So then it should create a simple splash screen, custom splash screen for us that will be loaded and then direct us to the correct screen. So that's what it should look like once this is done. It has made all the changes for us. As you can see, we're in the home screen right now. This is the new account that I created. So I will try to reset it. Fingers crossed it works. Okay, so that did not work. And I will try to log in. Fingers crossed this works at least. So the index is just doing this, but it's not actually going anywhere. So what we'll notice is that the splash screen, for some reason, it added the splash screen in the index. So first off, we'll make the splash to be an icon instead, just a normal icon, and then we will try to fix this. Don't know why it's doing that. I will take a screenshot of that actually and provide it to it. Yeah, so we need to fix those two issues. One, we need to make sure the splash screen works. Two, we need to make sure the entry points index works. So this should be a different screen, and then we need to fix this bug or just remove that in general. But so everything is now integrated. So we have the splash screen that is cleaned up. The welcome screen works as we intended and everything. So I'm going to reload the app. The splash screen looks clean. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look how clean that looks. And then when we try to log in, tests@tests.com, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we tap that. Look how clean that looks. Okay, that's good. And then next thing, if we reload the app, if we reload the app, it shouldn't log the user out anymore. The splash screen should pull up and it should log them in. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. So I think that's everything. So we've cleaned up the onboarding flow and everything. Everything here works as intended. The transaction screens work as intended. And then the setting screen and theme works as intended. Does the theme work for splash screen as well? If I click reload. Oh my God! But then it logged them out. I'm not sure why it did that, but yeah. Anyways, it works. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we are actually going to create the icon of the app. So please create the icon of the app using SVG so that we can submit it to Apple. Because this is going to be our next journey now, is to actually start working to make sure it's prepared to submit to Apple. We're going to generate the icon, because if we go to the where is it, assets, right here, yeah, right here, images, it would have an icon there, but that's the dummy icon. Yeah, this is the icon provided to us by Expo, and we obviously want to have like an actual nice icon. So if I go to the folder, if I actually click that, so if I click this is what the icon looks like, right? So this is what will show as the app, and obviously that's not what we want. So, oh, it's generating the image. It's actually generating the image. It should generate the code. Yeah, okay, that's what we want. So it's generating this code. So you copy this code, and we're going to take that and go to a SVG translator. So right here, and we're just gonna paste that in here. That works. What do you guys think? That looks pretty good to me. I mean, we don't want it to be perfect. We just need it to be. That works. Honestly, that works, guys. So we're gonna use that, like, perfect. And then we're going to go to the folder, and we're going to save it against this, because this is what we want to replace it with, right? So now we have the icon there, okay. And then do we need a splash? We have a custom splash, so I think we're good with the splash. Okay, so the app, I think, is ready. What we need to do is now look into submitting that and pushing it to test flight. So I'll just say the app is ready. Now we need to please build it for EAS production and submit it to Apple. So this is the GPT, right? So please show the step-by-step process. Mind you, there is a documentation from Expo that shows this, but we want to see what this is going to do for us. Okay, so it's showing us this prerequisite. So you already obviously have your Apple account, which you would have already had. We need to install this. So we'll go back, copy that, and we will come here, and now we can close this because we don't need that anymore, and paste that. Then next is we need to log into our EAS account, which is fair, and then we need to change this and add our Apple ID, which would be my email here. This is for the submitting part. And then, okay, so we'll go back. It's installing the EAS CLI globally. I think I already installed that, but yeah. So when that's done, I'll be back. So it has installed the Expo CLI. Next is we're going to log in, EAS login. So it's gonna pull up my credential and everything, and I'm gonna just log in. Say I'm already logged in. You already logged in. You can say yes. Do you want to continue? So for your case, you might not have been logged in. You just have to log in. So the next thing on the list is if we go, there should be I'll actually pull up the Expo documentation here. So as you can see here, there's an Expo documentation that literally shows you everything you need to do. So you'd have obviously the latest, that's what we just did. You would have logged in. Next thing is to configure the project. So it would be EAS build configure. So we're gonna come here and we're gonna paste that. I'm already logged in, so I don't have to go through what you guys are doing right now, but you would log in, put your credential and everything because you have an Expo EAS account. So while it's doing that, I need to pull up the app. I mean, it doesn't make a difference, but just put it there just because it looks good. So it's automatically create a project. Yep, so we want to create a project, right? So we'll say yes. This is gonna create the project for us in EAS. If I actually pull up what I was on right now and I go to my EAS and I go to the dashboard, we should see a project getting created. So this is, I think, the old one that I worked on before. So I wonder if it's gonna overwrite that, or that is, which platform would you like to build? So for this project, we want to focus on just iOS, right? So we'll just do iOS, and the project is still this ready. Or is this it? There's no way that's it. That's fast. That was way faster than I expected. Yeah, that is it. Wow, that was a lot faster. That was like in real time. So the build, EAS build, it says the build is ready. Oh, the project build is ready. So now you can see that it created, where is it? EAS there. So it created this file, and this is the file that we're going to use to complete the whole setup. So I'll say, please help me set up the EAS.json file so that I can submit my app to my app store, my mail for the account is, and then you put your email here. So this is going to help us clean this up, and it should add that into the submit function here. But while it's doing that, we need to build the project. So if we go down, we have build. So this is what we need. So we need this. So it would be EAS build, platform is iOS, profile is production. So that's what we want to do. So anyways, right here is showing us this actual like script of submitting to the app store, which is the same thing we're seeing in ChatGPT right now, right? So we need to get these two here. So the ASC app ID and the Apple team ID. So to get these, you actually have to go to your developer account. So I will show you guys where to get them. And I will go there and just have to log in to your account. So if you come down here, you will see, so this is the team ID in my case. So I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna go back. So right here is the app team ID. That's where we add there. And then we'll paste that right there. So here, the support tablet, I wanna make that false because Apple is gonna make us have to get screenshots for tablets as well, and we don't want that. And then if we go back to the EAS, I've pasted that there. So I'm just gonna accept what it says here. We'll see how it all plays out. Prompt configuration. And then the AS app ID, this, I can't remember your App Store Connect app ID. We have to create it first. Yeah, so we have to create the app first, that's why. Okay, so what I will do, is we'll go create the app. So we'll go to App Store Connect. So what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll create the app, and it actually shows us the step-by-step of how to do that. So we will come here and we'll say new app, and we are calling it, what was it? Was it Budget App? I think that was the name, Budget App. And then the language is English, Canada, that's where I'm at. And for this bundle ID, so we need to register a new bundle ID. What are we gonna call it? It's a budgeting app, and no groups. We're not taking anything, so we're not doing any of these. Okay, so we're good on that front. The bundle is, what was it again? It told us what it was. So this is the bundle ID, so we'll just copy that and we will paste that right here, and we will continue. I say it's a budgeting app, that's a terrible description, but hey man, it is what it is. So we'll register the app. Perfect, so it is right here. So that's the app. So if we go back here, and we should be able to find it. Probably have to reload the screen, so we'll just reload the screen. The platform should be iOS as well. So we will do that, and new app. And the name will be budget app. The language will be English Canada. The bundle will be right there. And then the SKU, you can use literally the same thing for the SKU. iOS, user access, limited, full access. Perfect. So now we have created the app. Perfect. So it has created so right there, it's created it. That's good. So this is where we get that ID that I was talking about. So to get that ID, you will need to go to the app information, I believe, and it is right here. So this is what we need. So copy that, and then we're going to go back and we're going to paste that right here. Perfect. So now I think we are ready. So now we're just going to build it. So we need to go through some processes. So I'll just accept that. Yes. So it's just going to be configuring things for us as we go. Next, do you want to log into your Apple account? Of course, yes. My email, it gives me my email, password, put in my password. In this case, I will use this one because that's my personal one. That's one I want to use. And then this one, that's my personal one. That's one I want to use. And that's the one that is going to work. Generate a new Apple provision profile. Yes. Okay. Do you like set up push notification for credit? No, we do not for the time being, just because we're going to have to add a bunch of things that we don't need. After this is done and everything, it should say building. Once it says building, the build should start showing up. I'll be back once it starts building. So it's now building the app. That's going to take a few minutes. While it's doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Apple and we're going to start setting up the app. So if we go back to prepare for submission, we need screenshots. So we're going to take a few screenshots of the app once it's in test flight so that we can add it there. We're going to see the icon is going to show up once it deploys the app. Once the app is on test flight as well, it's going to automatically get pushed there once we submit it. We're going to create a description. So we're going to start with description. So we'll say, please write the detailed description of the app and make sure to include the apples. You need to do this so that they can approve it because it needs to be in your binary for them to approve it. Your app, the apples, EULA, I think is what it's called. So while it's doing that, we need to do the promotional text. This is optional. We need keywords as well. We need marketing URLs. Add a website, create a simple website or whatever. So I'm gonna add my other app's website link. Support, same thing. I will use the same website. So I'll just copy that and paste it there. Copyright, I'll just call it the name of the app, which is Budget X, version 1. So that's good. Sign in required. So we'll create the test one for them, for Apple to be able to use the test. So we'll just call it tests, and we'll call it the password. Contact information, we don't need to fill that, I don't think, but I will still put my contact information just in case. But I don't think we need to fill that out. Next is notes. I'll just say thank you very much for your time. Just because they're human beings, it might put a smile on their face and make them easier on approval. Description. So this is what we need. So we need to copy this. So I'm literally just gonna copy that, go to Apple, and I'm gonna paste that right there. Obviously we're gonna clean this up on your case, and then this is not the correct one. So what we need here is the Apple legal one. So we'll just copy this, Control C, and then come here and paste that right. This is optional, so we don't need that, so we can remove that. It should be the, okay, we'll just add the link, to be honest. And then the next one is we'll just add this one because they don't care, it just needs to be in your binary for them to see it. And then the last one is the privacy policy, which we already have. What was it again? If we go to settings, I know it's in settings. So if we go to the settings tab, we have the privacy policy there. This is the hardest part. This is the part that a lot of people struggle with. So that's why it's taking forever. But I'm showing you guys the step-by-step of doing it, right? Because this is the part that a lot of people get, like, it's one of the harder part. So paste that here. Perfect. So this needs to be in your binary. The EU will, I think they already have it actually. Oh, so this is all you need. They actually already had it. Never mind. But I added this, just, it doesn't matter. Like, and then for the keywords, we're just gonna copy that. I'll leave it there still and paste it here. And it's 19 over, so we just clear this and this should be good. There we go. Savings. And then just clean, I'm gonna clean this up. Oh, promotional text. Is the promotional text there? Actually, best app ever for YouTube. There. This is for you guys. So I'm gonna clean this up. Actually, I'm gonna save it just to make sure I don't lose anything. And then I'm gonna clean this up, but we'll go to the privacy, app privacy, and we'll get started. Yes, we're not taking names, we're taking email, and we just have to fill this all out. Health and fitness, no. Finance, no. Finance information, credit cards, bank, if uses payment, no. So we're not doing any of that. Financial information. This we are doing. Location, we're not taking. Sensitive information, we're not doing. Contacts, we are not doing. User content, we are not doing that either. Yep, so just fill all this out. User ID, we are doing. And crash, we're not doing any of that, and that's it. Save. Additional setup required. Okay. So setup email address, we're just saying it's for app functionality. That's it. Yes, the email address collects from a link to user identity. No, they're not. Email is just for them to be able to log in, right? So say next. Yes, email address we use. Just no, we're not. Okay, so that's that. Next one is the financial information. We're just using it for functionality of the app. We're not linking it to the user identity. No, we're not using it for tracking purposes. And then the user identifiers, because they're all for the functionality of the app, right? So we're not using it for anything like marketing and so and all that. So we are done with the policy, and I actually think that's about it. So we will come back here, and I don't think there's anything here we need to do. Maybe App Store server. No, we don't need to do that. Age, set age rating. Yep, that we don't need to do. So I think that's all we need. Oh, the name and subtitle. Budget X, and then the subtitle, we need that actually. So if we come back here, the subtitle, it already tells us. Perfect. So if we go back, we'll paste that there. Say simplify your finance. I'll just say simplify your finance. There. And then the name, we'll call it budget. Personal budgeting. That's perfect. We'll save that. And then the category, we'll call it for, what do we say, business, finance, or utility? I want to say finance for primary, and then secondary we'll say utility. There we go. And we'll save that. That's everything we need to do in the app information. And then we'll go back to here. And then now I'm gonna clean this up while the build is still happening. I'm gonna clean this up and then I'll be back. So I have cleaned up the description. Obviously put more effort into this. Like, I'm just flying through this just to show you guys and submit it, just to show you guys. So now we're good in this case. We just have to wait for the build to complete. Once the build is complete, we're going to submit it. And when we submit it, we'll use TestFlight to take the screenshots so that we can put the screenshots here. So once the build is completed, I will be back. So the build is complete finally, and we are going to now submit it to iOS TestFlight. So if we go back to Expo EAS right here, look at that. Successfully built. That's sick. Okay, and then the next step is, once it's in TestFlight, we're gonna take some screenshots and then we're gonna take those screenshots and integrate them here. We just need 3, so we just put 3. Like, this is the point of this, is just to show you guys. Like, I'm not trying to do the most here, nothing. It's just to show you guys how to do this. That's it. So right now it's being submitted. Choose an existing key. So it says select the App Store Connect API key that uses to use for your project. Sure. So it is going to submit the app. If this works, it should be here. So once it's all done, I'm going to bring back the screen and then we'll kind of go from there. So the app has been submitted right there successfully. So if we reload this, we should see the app here in test flight. Fingers crossed. Voila. Yes, sir. So the app is there. It's right there. We need to add testers. That's I'll just say internal tester create. Excuse me. I'm gonna add this and I'll just add myself. So in this case, you add yourself, whatever, and then I'm invited. So I now on my device got an email. So I should have received. There you go. So that's the test flight. Okay, the moment of truth. If this works, we can go crazy. Let's go! Okay, let's try to log in. I think it was tests@tests.com. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Sign in. Oh my days! So it works, okay? And again, this is not perfect, whatever. Like, I'm not trying to do the most here. I just want to show you guys and deploy it. And while I'm posting this video, I'm gonna, by then, hopefully it gets approved so that when I post the video, you guys can literally go in and play around with it and see how I did this in real time, submitted it, because nobody has done this. Nobody has actually in real time built the app, finished building the app, submit it. Oh, we need to take screenshots. I'm out here yapping. So I take screenshot. I still have some processes to finish for you guys. I'm sorry guys. I got too excited there. Take screenshots. Take screenshot. That's 3. And if I reload the app, so I'm gonna close it and reopen it just so we can take this right there. That works. Now I'm gonna email that screenshot to myself and then put it through a website to help me customize it. So I'll be back. I'll email it to myself and I'll be back once I've emailed it. It's on my computer. So for the screenshot, just go to the applunchpad.com and then just get started for free. I'll just log into my account. So create an account. This is not an app, by the way. So just select one. In this case, it doesn't really matter, man. Like, we just need to select something like simple. It's like this works. We'll delete these 2. We just need 1 2 3 and use that. So we just use this. And then here, so what I will do is I will upload the pictures we need right here. We just upload all of them. And then we just delete this. We don't need this because we're keeping this as simple as possible. We don't need this either. Like, this is just for you guys. So I'm not trying to do the most here. First off, this would be here. So this would be there. Perfect. And then we can delete whatever this is. Actually, that looks cool, even though it's not in the app. I'll just leave it there because it looks cool. I can't lie. Even though it's not in the app. Track your progress. Perfect. Stay motivated with challenges. Perfect. So we'll come here and that would be for this right here. So that's it. That's literally it. I'm not trying to do the most, if I'm being honest with you guys. So I'll just download this. And then we are going to just save it here as untitled. And then we're gonna go to there and go back to Apple. And I'm literally just gonna copy the images on here. Perfect. So right there, the app is ready. We are going to submit it. So I will just make sure everything is good. Best app. Best. That's so basic. I'm gonna change this. So that looks a lot better. And we are good. We are good to go. One thing that is bugging me though, I don't know why the logo is not showing there yet. I'm gonna reload it because it shows in test flight, which means that it works. I'm just not sure why it's not showing here right now. just give it a second here. It might just be taking some time to load, but it shows in test file, which means it works. So we are going to add it for review, guys. I need to choose the build. Haha. And then I just select here. Yeah, the logo is right there. Oh, that's why it wasn't showing there. So it should show now. You must select the level of frequency for. Well, good thing Apple tells us exactly what we need to do. Okay, so first off, let's go to pricing. It says we need to select pricing. So I forgot to do that. So we have to add the pricing, and in this case, it's $0 because it's free. And we'll say next, and next, firm. We'll go back. So next, we have to put the privacy policy, which is right here. I forgot about that. I was actually here. So the privacy policy is, if I go back to right here, and I copy that and I paste that right there. And then user privacy policy, that's optional, so save, and then publish. Next is you must select the level of frequency for each Apple content description rating section. You must set up content rights information. So let's do this one first. Where's the content right information? Content rights. Oh, this right here. Does your app contain the full? Yes, it shows. Nope, we do not. We're not doing none of that. And I think we're good. The last one, it says the age part. We're not doing any of that. None. So we need to fix it. So we're definitely not doing anything here. Next. Does your app contain any unrestricted website? No. Does your app contain any? No. No. Next. Not applicable to this app. Perfect. I think we're good. Now we're good. Okay, we'll go back and we can add it for review. And next we're gonna see is waiting for review. Ready for review? Okay, we're gonna submit it. So now we just wait. We literally just wait for Apple to review the app, do their thing, and then get back to us. So the next day the app got approved. Because I do this for, actually I'm joking. At first it got declined, but it did still get approved. I had to do a little, so it got declined because they said it was too simple. So they said it was too simple, that it was just way too basic. We had to add more features, so I literally spent like an hour to 2 hours of just adding more things to make it look a little bit cleaner and better, and just just more features. And then did that, submitted it, and it got approved. So this is what it looks like right there. And you can see here, I literally went back and forth with them. And bro, I can't lie, this video was hard. So you guys gotta blow this video up because I had to make this in one take. And it had to be correct. And it had to get approved. And I got it done. Because I do this for real. But yeah, dog. The moral of the story though, when you're doing this, make sure you take your time and really, really build something. Like, obviously, like when I'm doing it, I'm trying to do it as quick and simple as possible so I can't face too many issues so that it can be a successful video, right? But in your case, man, you can add things, add more features, make it more sophisticated, be more creative. Because like, if not, you face the same problem, right? Because to be fair, if I had added more features and so on, which I would have if I did it by myself, it would have got approved first time. But the whole process works though. You guys saw it. I created the whole app in real time. I don't think there's a video that shows this, bro. Come on, bro. Stop playing with me. You guys gotta put some respect on my name. I'm so happy right now. I'm sorry just because it's like, this was a risky video to take, man. Like imagine, like, it's hard because like there's so many moving pieces in terms of like planning and making sure the AI does what you're trying to do, and then making sure it works, and then making sure when you submit it, it gets approved. Like just so many moving pieces, and it worked. So I don't know how this video is gonna perform, but chances are, I don't know. I feel like it's either gonna be gold or it's just gold in my head. That's it. But I know one thing for sure though, it's gonna help a lot of people. And honestly, that's what it's about. That's what it's really about, is as long as it's gonna help a lot of people. And I know for a fact, because there's so many people that asked me a lot of questions and so on, and I literally know what? This is the blueprint. Start to finish. You can make it better, you can improve it, you can do whatever you want, but this is the blueprint. Peace!